Let's get more on this now with William Denselow, who joins me from New York. Hi, William. Look, why are milk prices so depressed in the US? What has gone wrong with the dairy production industry over there?
I think there's a plethora of reasons really to look into, but essentially if you look really at a macro scale, first of all, looking at the amount of competition that the US simply faces from the likes of the European Union that's exporting more than ever before, the likes of New Zealand, incredibly competitive as well. Now, we've heard from some lawmakers in New York State, which is a huge agricultural hub, especially when it comes to dairy farming. Now, some lawmakers say that they need to change the rules and the laws to enable the US to be more competitive. They suggest things like of improving the quality of their milk to make them more desirable to foreign markets, doing things like decreasing the somatic cell count, which would lower the yields but increase the quality. Some lawmakers think that is a key way to make US milk more appetizing and more palatable for other markets. The other thing is that the dairy farmers are simply better at making milk. That's a huge factor that has to come into play. Also, different trends in the industry. Of course, we're seeing the huge growth of organic milk. That of course, increases prices. That's a transition that many dairy farmers are dealing with. And for many lawmakers, they say there are some solutions, such as just increasing the amount of grants to give them more cash.
Right. Look, a Canadian report recently said that the US government doled out more than $22 billion worth of subsidies to the American dairy sector. Could this also be another factor leading to overproduction?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the Government Accountability Office put that figure definitely in that ballpark, around $20 billion that taxpayers have to shell out annually for some of these subsidies. Of course, this is a policy we've seen really in the US since the 1930s and the Great Depression, to ensure there's some kind of a safety net for farmers. But a real issue that some analysts look at and some critics of this policy look at and believe that this huge amount of cash that is available for the US agricultural industry goes towards the first couple of percent, goes towards agribusiness and these multi-billion dollar industries that really take the majority of these subsidies, which leave these small independent farms really losing out on a lot of that cash. That is a major issue. Now, of course, we have a new president really in the last just over a year. So this is bringing with it a new tax policy. Of course, one of President Trump's flagship moves is this new tax plan. Of course, he was voted in with a huge majority coming from the farming community. Many farmers are in favor of his tax plan, believing that'll give some tax breaks. But then again, there is a slight issue that some research analysts look at this and think that, again, this tax plan might seem beneficial for the farming community. But again, there are some concerns that the majority of these tax breaks will help the top 1% of these big farming communities.
OK, we'll leave it there. William Denselow in New York, thank you very much.